Moose insulted my town. He insulted my family. He insulted my authority. And that's nothing but pure and simple old-fashioned communism. Happens every time one of those mooses starts hanging around with those show. Oh, we're live. Hey, everybody, how's it going? Before we get started, the views and opinions expressed in this broadcast are not those of the SCV, GC, any division, brigades, camps, or other subsidiaries, strictly those of us who are expressing them on this show. Faversham to everybody. Hope everybody's having a great evening. Faversham to Carl. Del Ross, hope you're having a good night. Samuel Mitchum, Cousin Vinny, hope everybody's doing great. That's not trademarked, I hope. Before we get started, we've got, of course, Moose with us. He's en route with Daddy Moose to the house. But I'm joined also with our good friend and executive director, the man who proves that old legends never die. They just lose weight. Adam Southern. Adam, how are you doing?
I'm doing well. How are y'all?
I'm good. Moose is muted.
Not muted.
Oh, you just got quiet on me.
It's a rare time where I don't have to talk on the show anymore. I'm very excited.
Oh, no, you got to talk. Daddy Moose, how y'all doing?
Good.
You got to warn the ladies before he talks.
Oh, I do apologize. We do have to do that. One thing that we need to make sure of is to remind everybody that Fall Muster is at Beauvoir, October 15th through 16th. It's Beauvoir, the last home of President Jefferson Davis, and several hundreds of Confederate soldiers, sailors, their widows, orphans, and servants as well. It's their biggest fundraiser of the year. Victor, last time I checked, and I'm glad you're doing safe, Victor. I don't want to hear anything about the beautiful orange of the University of Tennessee Volunteers because, while we couldn't stop a fourth down, we, by God, won the football game.
Like I said, that gator tastes like chicken.
Yeah.
Ooh. Fight words from Adam.
Chomp.
Yeah. Of course, we got LSU this weekend in Death Valley, so that'll be interesting.
It will.
Next weekend, though, I don't think I'm going to watch football.
Oh, I watch it every year. I'm disappointed every year, but I watch it. Third weekend in October. It's been a day of mourning the past few years.
Oh, mercy alive.
That feels hard.
Anyway. Well, it's a brisk evening in the Valley of East Tennessee. David Pope has given us words in. So tonight, I've got my upcoming, and I know I haven't been on the show for a couple of weeks, been getting ready. I'm not a physics professor. That's actually something to pay no attention to. In the background. But I've got my last 2 weekends of big events here at work, and then after that, I'll be able to be more active on the show. So we've got exactly. We've got some good stuff planned. Potentially a trip somewhere, maybe in December. I don't know yet. Maybe perhaps there's an item or two that's going to be shown on a upcoming episode of the Hearth and Home episode. That's Bass Pro.
Oh,
I mean, while we're not sponsored by them, if anybody has a contact up at Bass Pro, and dang, y'all right down the road from me. If y'all have a contact, they can send us some sponsorship money or, ammo.
Yes, ammo would be nice these days.
Deer season is quickly approaching. Gun deer season is quickly approaching. Anyway, well, tonight we're going to have some fun. We're going to talk about an iconic classic Southern movie. I wish I wish that we could have had Big and Little Enos Burdette with us, but sadly, they couldn't make it on. But we're talking about Smokey and the Bandit. It's a classic movie that takes place in the South. Really is I grew up watching it, loving it. I mean, it's one that they honestly, you look at the range of actors that you had in there, Burt Reynolds, Jackie Gleason, Jerry Reed. I mean, you can't beat it, and the soundtrack was fantastic as well. I mean, Eastbound and Down. I was heading to National Reunion this year. For those that have me on Snapchat, got a Snapchat of me driving on I-20 East, blaring Eastbound and Down.
I remember.
Yeah. So it is a. All right, Vinny.
What are you doing to Vinny?
Deleting one of his comments.
Vinny, don't be vegan.
No, he did ask for vegan milk, which doesn't exist, in a pumpkin spice soy latte.
Bless his heart. We love you, Vinny.
Yeah, come on, Fred.
Come on, Fred.
But it's so many good classic quotes coming out of that. But before I continue to just droll on, I'm gonna kick it down to Adam, and yeah, I can't forget Sally Field. Kick it down to Adam and let Adam talk for a second about it.
Well, like you said, it's one of those movies that I grew up with, and I can remember being in my room, and if it was on TV, my dad would always talk about, "Oh, Smokey and the Bandit." He'd sit and watch it with me, and we'd sit and laugh, have a big time. So it was one of those good father-son bonding moments for us to be able to sit and watch Smokey and the Bandit together. And you're right, the actors, the music, Coors beer. I mean, that was the big deal. And if you're from this side of the Mississippi River, it was a big deal in the early 80s and the 70s to have a Coors beer here because we couldn't get it. And so if you showed up with a 12-pack of Coors, you were somebody walking around the bonfire that weekend. So, but, you know, that Trans Am was iconic. That black Trans Am with the what was that, the eagle on top, man? That was
it's beautiful.
Beautiful car. T-tops.
And of course, what was on the front of the Trans Am?
Did he have the Georgia flag, or did he have just the battle flag?
He had the old Georgia flag on there.
Can't remember if it was the Georgia flag or the battle flag, but you know, that was, had to have that on the front of it. And yeah, they never could get Jackie Gleason to quite get some bitch right, though.
No.
Pardon my language, but he never did grasp that. That Yankee kept coming out in there every time he tried to do it. But it's one of those things you laugh about, and he did his best, bless his heart.
Yeah. And you can think pot, but don't do it.
Yeah, my favorite part, I don't know why it cracks me up so much. He's running in to get him a Diablo sandwich and a Dr. Pepper, and he hollers out to the car to his son, Junior, "You want something?" And he says, "Hush, puppies, Daddy."
We ain't got time for that crap.
I don't know why it's so funny, but it is.
Of course, you know, one of the my favorite parts right after that, when he comes out of the bathroom and he's got the toilet paper stuck to his glasses, and the woman chases after him. Sheriff. You know, Gleason would have wanted that somewhere else, but they couldn't have put it in there in the censors of that day.
Yeah, that just, you know, goes to what was happening in the country back then. You know, all the rationing, you know, people had to wait in line for gas back then in the 70s, and toilet paper was a shortage. So she was rolling that toilet paper back up, so they were going to reuse that toilet paper. And at one point, Sally Field asked for a quarter to use the bathroom because they were charging admission to go to toilets back then.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there's a lot of things we really think about. People of our generation, my dad would have to clue me in and be like, oh, yeah, sometimes we had to pay a quarter to use the bathroom. So,
I mean, just it's. I remember my dad used to say the very first time that Mom and he saw Smokey and the Bandit, they were babysitting my cousins. I'm the youngest of like 50 grandchildren. And they were babysitting some of my older cousins. And my aunt and uncle actually had HBO when HBO first came out at their house on cable, and it came on, and they woke the kids up laughing so hard just because just how great of a movie and how funny it is. And I think that one of my favorite quotes from the entire movie, and it's not one of the funny ones, but it's when Bandit's trying to convince Snowman to do the run. He says, why should we do it? And Bandit's response was, for the money, for the glory, and for the fun, and for the good old American life, but mostly for the money. Which is kind of, you know, a little bit like why we do SCV chat, for the fun, for the glory, not for the money, and for the good old American life.
I'll say we get money.
Yeah, no kidding.
Because it ain't ever been done. That was another reason.
Yeah.
Yes.
What about you, Forrest?
I mean, I like the money, but for the fun.
It
ain't never been done.
Yeah, I'm really digging that Forrest is kind of like Wilson off of Home Improvement. We just hear him from the side and we don't see him. I think that's going to be a new running gag for the show. Oh, there he is.
There he is.
I don't have a fence, but that'll have to do.
So,
I'm going to make that into a meme.
Yeah, no kidding. That's going to go into the end of the year show.
Yeah,
So, has anybody ever had a Diablo sandwich?
No, but I have had many Dr. Peppers.
Yeah.
Well, I'm looking here, and I found a recipe for a Diablo sandwich, and it doesn't seem like you can make one of these in a hurry. But I'm going to paste the link here just in case anybody hasn't had supper like me yet and looking for ideas. It's ground beef, a sweet onion, jalapeno peppers, garlic, ketchup, cider vinegar, Winchester sauce or Worcestershire sauce. I can't say that. Brown sugar, hot sauce, liquid smoked paprika, cayenne, black pepper, and salt, and you mix it all together and make it like a sloppy joe.
That's a loose meat sandwich, yeah.
Right. Sounds like it would be good with Dr. Pepper.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
But that's something interesting. Something else interesting, I was looking through the cast list earlier, and I did not realize this until I was reading. Our guest for the 100th episode, plug in that early. Yeah, go ahead and throw it back up. Ben Cooter Jones was actually an extra in the movie. He played one of the truckers.
Okay, I have to go back and watch that.
Yeah, we're gonna have to go back and watch it and see if we can spot him. But something else I didn't realize is that the guy who played Little Enos is actually he's more famous for being a songwriter and composer and lyricist. And he wrote several songs that made the Billboard Top 100, including a number 25 hit for Kermit the Frog. There's a little something for you.
Yeah, what was his real name? You remember?
His real name is Paul Williams.
Okay.
But he wrote one of the songs for A Star Is Born with Barbra Streisand in there. But what I like is, the song An Old Fashioned Love Song by Three Dog Night?
Mm-hmm.
he wrote that. So my dad was a big Three Dog Night fan, but yeah, he wrote that. So he's worth a pretty good penny.
Pretty impressive.
Yeah.
He actually really funded this run.
Yeah, that's
Or
another
this
little thing.
Gettysburg, as Jason would like to call it.
Yeah, and I don't think he's technically a midget. I'm gonna digress for a second. Did you check Instagram and see that video I sent you?
Me?
Well, I know Forrest saw it, but mainly Adam.
I don't recall. I'm sorry.
You need to check Instagram. I'll tell you. I'll tell you in the private chat.
Okay.
Let's see. Of course, surprisingly for it being a Southern movie, not that many Southerners are in it. Burt Reynolds was not born in the South. Sally Field was not born in the South. About the only one I can really see that was born in the South was Jerry Reed. He was born in Georgia. And a couple of years ago, do you remember what Matt said you look like, Adam?
Oh, yeah, yes.
Like if dang nabbit.
No, stay in the dark. Stay in the dark like me.
Yeah, government lighting. So I was thinking about I forgot that they made Smokey and the Bandit 2 and 3. But Dom DeLuise is in Smokey and the Bandit 2.
Yeah.
And so is Burt Reynolds. And Matt, I believe still to this day, says that Adam looks like he is a combination between Dom DeLuise and Burt Reynolds.
Have you ever seen any of the Smokey and the Bandit prequel television movies?
I don't remember there being a prequel television movie.
There are 4 prequel television movies that follow Bandit, like in his 20s. Just stick with the original movie. You'll do a lot better just imagining what Bandit has done.
So not worth our time, huh?
No, I mean, like, they're all right, but that's the feeling you get watching the whole movie. You're like, huh, all right. Not a waste of time, but not like, okay, that deserved to be in the franchise.
I'm looking at the
Dukes of Hazzard movies.
I'm looking. Oh God, don't get me started on the Dukes of Hazzard movies.
Those 2 reboots are awful.
Really quick for the chat. Who would win in a race, the Bandit or the General Lee?
Oh, General Lee.
I don't know. I'm gonna go with Bandit on this.
What do you think, Forrest?
Who's driving, Bo or Luke?
See, that's actually a great question.
Yeah.
If Bo Duke's behind the wheel of the General Lee, man, I got to go with the General.
All right. Let's say it's Luke's driving, but Kathy or Sally Fields is driving the Bandit car, like she did in that one scene.
Oh, well, I'll go with the General Lee.
Yeah.
Yeah, General Lee.
Still staying with the General.
So sorry, Sally Fields. I'm looking at the soundtrack here for the Smokey and the Bandit movie. I did not realize that track number 8 is entitled "March of the Rednecks."
Okay.
I was today years old when I learned that.
We've watched that movie how many times?
What was that, Moose?
Said I've watched that movie so many times, I've never realized that "March of the Rednecks" is an actual song in there. Would outrun the Trans Am if
if Roscoe was driving.
General Lee wouldn't last a heel if Roscoe was driving. Poor Roscoe, man. Wrecked more cars in TV history than I think anybody alive.
What was that, Moose?
I tried to do the Roscoe laugh. We're just going to quietly move on. Act like it didn't happen.
You don't want to relive it.
Yeah. No. All right. Hey, we can add that to the list on the stuff replacing the room key.
All right. Peace. I'll see y'all later. One second.
Adam, you freeze up.
Oh,
I'm
he's
just-
enjoying this chaos.
Well, the guys are on the break now. Don't know where they've gone to. Let's go to the kitchen and get ourselves a treat.
A little bit early for that, but Pop-Tart breaks are at 7:37. But I guess we're just doing a Diablo sandwich break for this episode.
Well, that's for our sponsor of. Let's see here. We'll do one of our sponsors really quickly then. Let me pull one up real quick. We'll do our past CIC sponsorship real quick.
Yeah. So if Christmas is just around the corner, I didn't know if y'all knew that, especially because we no longer have Thanksgiving or Halloween anymore. But it is what it is. If you're looking for something for that temperamental historian in your life that he's hard to shop for and you don't know what to get him, please consider one of these fine books from Larry McClooney, past Commander-in-Chief of the Sons Confederate Veterans. Hey, did y'all know he's an educator? He is. He's also written 3 books. The first book, the Yazoo Pass Expedition, is, to my knowledge, the only book about the Yazoo Pass Expedition. It's my favorite because I am mentioned by name in the foreword. The next book is On to Vicksburg, which talks about the Central Mississippi Railroad expedition and Holly Springs and Earl Van Dorn and all that wonderful stuff. I'm not mentioned in the foreword to that one. And then the final one is In General Beauregard's Defense, which is a book about defending Beauregard and everything that happened with Beauregard and how he's been getting the shaft for the past 170 years. Larry McClooney uses that like a court case where he's actually presenting the evidence on why Beauregard wasn't that bad. Of course, we all know Braxton Bragg was the worst. You can get these books at you can get these books at LarryMcClooney.com.
Link in the chat.
Link in the chat. You can also on his site, it'll redirect you to his Amazon page where you can order from him, or his contact information where you can order from him directly, and he'll happy to send you an autographed copy. Or if you want him to come speak at your camp, or MOSB chapter, or UDC chapter, or OCR chapter, or Civil War Roundtable, or anything he could sell books at, contact with him.
He'll show up to your family reunion.
If he can sell books.
Bar mitzvahs?
Oh, yeah. Bar fit.
Books.
Yeah, 100%.
Reruns of the Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Okay.
That would be interesting.
Yeah.
And as a coming up next season, we'll be interviewing Wyatt Jones for his forthcoming book, In Defense of Moose.
I'm agreeing with this book because I get so much slander on this deadgum show that I've been a part of for, going on 3 years now?
Yeah, a little over 3 years. I don't think it's slander. I think it's just not slander.
It's more hazing than anything else.
Exactly, but we don't haze. These hands don't haze.
That's right.
We're not hazing, but we're hazing you.
We're not hazing. We're just making your life hell.
We're not hazing because we're not initiating you into anything.
Yeah, you're already here.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, all right, that's a lie. Connor threw me into SCV life like a dead gum.
You volunteered.
I volunteered, but you threw me.
Anyway, Jimmy Hills actually looked it up, and according to one of the sources online, the General Lee would have a top speed of 137 miles per hour compared to the 93 of the Trans Am.
But let me just clarify my statement. I've seen the General Lee broken down and wrecked, and I've seen the Bandit.
Kind of cut out there, Adam.
I'm just saying I've seen the General Lee broken down and wrecked more times than I've seen the Bandit broken down or wrecked.
Well, the General Lee was around for 7 years, and the Bandit was only around for 2.
That's just why I said they would win. So,
Well, I mean, the General Lee had something that Bandit didn't have,
a battle flag
and Cooter.
got a good name.
Cooter did save the General Lee multiple times.
Yep.
Built an impressive engine in it too. I can't remember the season or the episode, but they talk about the engine. It's not a 1969 Chargers engine. It's like a deadgum Hemi or something. But no. You threw me into the SCV life like throwing a toddler in to learn how to swim the deep
Hey, I am not a helicopter papa.
end. Jumping over river. We'll do that. I was about to say, well, because Bandit wasn't even in Smokey and the Bandit 3. Burt Reynolds made a cameo for 3 seconds in that film.
Yeah, I think part of the premise was that he was dead and that Jerry Reed Snowman was acting like the Bandit.
I'm so happy I never watched that now. I've only watched Smokey and the Bandit 1, 2, and 2 of the TV prequels. I'm so happy I never watched 3 now, because if they're like, he's dead, I would have been like, all right, yep, nope, I'm leaving the theater right now. That's like that weird season of Dukes of Hazzard where Bo and Luke just disappeared and they weren't on parole, and then they come back 2 seasons later and they're back on parole and no one mentions anything.
Every show had something like that. Like Dallas had the whole season that was a dream, and
oh yeah, back then I think it was more common to try to knock out or surprise the fans with something that everybody was like, oh, that's weird, and it still happens in television today. But the Dukes of Hazzard one was because the actors playing Bo and Luke were like, we're rednecks, we don't talk like this. Stop making us sound like we're idiots. And the writers were like, no, this is how we think rednecks sound. And so they were just like, okay, we'll leave. And the writers thought that they could make Dukes of Hazzard successful without them. And they were wrong. No offense to the actors who replaced them. I've watched their seasons. It's pretty good. If we didn't know about Bo and Luke's characters before this, it would be a pretty good show still. It's just the fact that they try to sweep Bo and Luke under the rug for 2 seasons of the show and then bring them back to try to help with the ratings.
Well, you know what they say. When you tell somebody something, it depends on what part of the country you're standing in as just how dumb you are.
That's right.
Words to live by.
Quote from the movie. So who would win in a race, Flash or Fred?
Oh, that's a great question. I'm going to go
Flash.
Fred.
Flash was pretty fast.
I'm going to go with Fred. He had some good swimming legs on him.
Forgot about that.
Come on, Fred. This just zooms out there in the river.
He had a taste for bikers, though.
Yeah. Well, no, he didn't like oil that much. Grease that much.
What did Snowman said? Say, Fred doesn't like the taste of y'all or something like that.
He didn't like grease.
Yeah, grease. Yeah. Now, CV culture was a big thing in Smokey and the Bandit. Well, what would everybody's handle be? Would you still be Moose?
I guess I've gotten stuck with Moose. It somehow turned into my Metcalf name as well. So I'm guessing, yes.
Well, you're welcome.
Yeah. That was one of the, Connor said he would pay for me to join the Metcalf under the condition that my name in the Metcalf is Moose. And so
I said I'd buy you the patch.
Have you bought me the patch yet?
Not yet.
Okay.
All right, Connor, what would your handle be?
Look under.
So you're Noble Lumpkin.
I am the noble lumpkin. Carl's the illustrious potentate.
Yeah. The what?
The illustrious potentate.
Dang nabbit, this here's Bubba.
Yeah.
I know.
That's
I know. Adam
this here's
said
Bubba.
that. I'm not gonna say it on air though.
Oh yeah, we can't.
You can't say that on air.
Yeah, no, we can say tripod. We just can't explain what it. It's because he's always carrying our equipment whenever we go to headquarters.
Yeah.
I think I'd rather stick with Boss Hog.
Oh, okay.
Boss Hog is a pretty good one.
Jefferson Davis Hog. This is morphed into talking about the Dukes of Hazzard more than it's
Oh, we're all well. I mean, again, that's the culture they were providing, though. Both the show and the Smokey and the Bandit movie, but it was providing just they don't make movies like that anymore.
And essentially, I mean, it's kind of the show and the movie are the same thing.
Yes.
A fast car, good music,
Southern culture, Southern
attractive women.
Yeah, well,
if you find Sally Fields attractive, police force that's comical.
On the corrupt side, yeah.
Illegal alcohol.
That Southern tradition doesn't change, does it?
All right, Vinny, no.
Vinny, buddy, I'm trying to keep him from putting you in a timeout.
Yeah, and James Martin's right, but Smokey and the Bandit was originally supposed to be a B film and shot after a B film, but it just so happened that it grew and became kind of like Rocky Horror.
Yes,
where it's a Southern cult classic.
I was about to say, almost everybody I know in the South has seen it once. Today, I figured out one person that doesn't like it. That shocked me to the core. But like at least everybody in the South, like even when I was in high school, and again, this is a whole different generation, we would have arguments. Who would win, the General Lee or the Bandit? Again, it's become part of culture, and that movie and the show depicts that, and they don't make them like that anymore. It's sad because obviously people love it, but instead these days they're scared of offending someone. So if they throw some Southern culture in there, oh, you better get ready for us to be just slapped in the face and be depicted as some of the dumbest people in America.
Oh yeah, well, I mean, they did that with the Dukes of Hazzard movie.
Oh my gosh,
yeah,
I hate that movie.
And the only saving grace in that was what's her name?
Talking about the girl that played Daisy.
Yeah,
Daisy in those movies are the only thing that saves it anyway. But those are awful because it depicts us like just bumbling red idiots, and that's how they thought that would sell. Like they didn't. To quote John Snyder, is like they missed the Dukes of Hazzard. Why it was so famous with Southerners and all of America by a mile. He said that's not the Dukes of Hazzard. I don't know what that was.
Jessica Simpson. She was the saving grace in that movie.
There you go.
I love how Commander Hill had that knowledge on retainer.
Don't you think so, Forrest?
He's not in the vehicle.
Oh,
he left. He was like, bye. I was like, oh, okay.
Going to buy ammo.
Yeah, that's hopefully he'll let me use it.
Well, I mean, he's not going to leave you there. I mean, he's coming back.
Just like the child that got like accidentally left in the vehicle, just like.
I mean,
Did he crack a window for you?
There you go.
Oh,
there you go.
Cousin Vinny said, prank my father by driving away with a car. Well, considering he's watching the show right now, Vinny, I don't know if that one's going to work. No, either.
No. Take my advice. No.
Nope.
All right, we're going to take a quick commercial break, but before we do, let's talk about our newest sponsor. Moose had the ability to talk about Southern flags and quilts last week and show some of the great work they've done. We're going to go through some of these as well, some of the flags that she's made. She's from Alabama. She's really easy to work with. She does fantastic work. I mean, just look at this one right here. Bye, Adam. You know, Bedford Forest style. Army Trans-Mississippi, 2nd Louisiana Cavalry. Metcalf guidons and pennants. Even a beautiful Mississippi flag for Company B, 1st Battalion Mississippi Sharpshooters. Guys, if you, your camp, your division, your brigade, your other subsidiary needs a flag made to represent your individual reenacting unit, your camp, whatever, please reach out to her on Facebook. She is very easy to work with. Sewing by Susan is, I wonder if I was looking at her stuff on Etsy earlier. Is her Facebook page, you know, so facebook.com/sewing by Susan.
Link is also in the chat.
Yeah, it's in the chat. Guys, y'all show her some love. She has made our first SCV chat flag that I can't wait to see.
We will be showing it. I have a certain episode in mind to show it off. The week of the 100th episode, we're going to have a blast of a week. Let me put it like that.
But it's absolutely beautiful. I'm going to be privately purchasing one myself. I mean, she did an amazing job. Guys, you know, we talk about all the time, you know, supporting Southern entities, Southern business, supporting ourselves. That's how we need to keep our money in the South and keep it with us. She's very good. She's very, very cost effective. She's very easy to work with. So y'all, if y'all need anything, if your camps need anything, go ahead and get one, because I mean, it will be excellent for, you know, if you have a recruiting booth or something like that and y'all are named after a specific unit, do the research, find out the history of that unit, which you need to have anyway, and get that flag reproduced so you can show, hey, well, this is what, you know, our namesake carried into battle. Again, Southern Flags and Quilts, look her up on Facebook. It's www.facebook.com/sewing by Susan, SEWINGBYSUZAN, all together, one happy word. Give her your support if y'all don't mind. Really quickly, we're going to take a commercial break. I'm trying to find the commercial that we're going to use, and we'll be right back. All right, this commercial actually we're going to do is in honor of Tejano and Hispanic Confederate Month. It is that month. Everybody thinks that, you know, at least on the other side of history, the liberal, neo-communist, neo-Marxist, Yankee, Bolshevik, Carl, am I leaving anything out? People think that they didn't exist, but we know for a fact that they did. We know that the Confederate Army was a diverse fighting force. It's our narrative to claim and reclaim. And here's the video.
My dad told me he always had a kinship to the battle flag. Always growing up, he knew there was something there, but he couldn't put it together. I called my 97-year-old grandmother, and I asked her, do we have any soldiers in the family? I gave her 3 descriptions. Verde, which means green, for modern-day soldier. Blue, azul, or gris, means gray. And she said, mijo, which means my son in Spanish, is gris. It was gray. My great-great-grandfather was named Andres Torres Rodriguez. He was born in Mexico. He was a laborer. And he was in 8th Texas Infantry, and his unit later on got incorporated to the Texas 33rd Cavalry under Santos Benavides, who was the highest Mexican-American Confederate officer. He was a colonel. There was over 13,000 Hispanic soldiers throughout the Confederate States, but out of those 13,000 were 2,500 Tejanos. And it's 2 words combined. Texas in Spanish is Tejas. Mexican in Spanish, Mexicano. You combine both words, Tejano. They contributed a lot for Southern independence. I think that they deserve respect, honor, and dignity under the Confederate flag that they fought for. There was people of color, Mexican people, and other Hispanics, and other people of color that fought in this war. Everyone's reason was different, but primarily they fought in this war for their independence and to protect their homeland. I joined the SCV because I'm extremely proud of my Confederate heritage. I have Confederate DNA. I just want to ensure that the present generation and future generations know and never forget the contributions of Hispanics in the War of Northern Aggression. I am Richard Luna Garcia, the great-great-grandson of Private Andres Torres Rodriguez, a Tejano Confederate soldier.
All right, guys, before we get started back, we're waiting for Adam to rejoin us. I want to take a really quick, serious moment, if we can. Y'all are all familiar with what the storm that came through Florida and through the Carolinas. I'm sharing a link right now into the chat for scv.org/PayPal-donations. Guys, we have a relief fund for our membership. It was established in September of 2005 in response to the devastating hurricanes that hit the Gulf Coast. The SCV Relief Fund follows the traditions of our United Confederate Veterans Relief and Aid Societies, which were established back, in the day, to assist our ancestors and their widows. And we always endeavor as the SCV to take care of our own. The purpose of the SCV Relief Fund is to provide emergency monetary assistance in the form of grants up to $500, not loans that need to be repaid, to the SCV members and their families who have been displaced from their homes due to hurricanes, tornadoes, fires, or other national disasters in their geographical areas. Written requests may be submitted by a camp or division commander for review to the SCV Relief Committee. The SCV General Headquarters sends a check to the member when the committee approves the grant request. This is a worthwhile and worthy cause and a chance for camps and members to help their fellow SCV members during times of great need and personal tragedy. Guys, that link right there, if you don't mind, if you can, go ahead and donate. Let's try to help these guys out, our compatriots out. We do take care of our own. If you feel like you can financially donate, just so that they can, if anybody does request, we make sure that the coffers are taken care of. So y'all, please consider donating to that needs. So, and of course, our thoughts and prayers go with everybody who's been affected. But
Yeah, well said.
So I've got, with Forrest no longer in the car, who's holding his hat?
We're gonna hold your hat, Daddy.
You should have said that as he was getting out of the car.
My favorite part of the movie is like they're walking and he just runs up to him, holds the hat, and he stops and just
looks at him.
The whole play on the Dillinger movie too. It's like Buford T. Justice gets out. He has to light his cigarette for him.
Yeah.
Just
he puts the cigarette in backwards.
Puts it in there
first.
for him, then lights it.
No, he puts it in backwards. He looks at it, looks at Junior. Junior picks the cigarette up that he's already dropped on the ground and flips it upright.
There's no way you come from my loins.
It's the way he says it too. I mean, he says it with such conviction.
There's no way you came from my loins. When I get home, I'm punching your mama right in the mouth. So when I was a brigade councilman or something like that, or actually I think I was running for division lieutenant commander. Dad and I went to an event together, and I'd said something smart alecky. I can't remember what, but me being a little sarcastic, believe it or not, it happens. And
really?
Yeah, I know, right? And
Larry was educated?
Yeah, I heard that once or twice. Anyway, he looked at me and he quoted that exactly, and everybody standing around us just laughed.
Hey, thank you, JC, for reposting that Hispanic Confederate video of Mr. Richard Garcia. We will be sharing that out on our pages Wednesday. And again, like you've done, we highly encourage everybody on Wednesday of this week. I want to see everybody flood social media with that awesome video, that face video of Richard. I'm going to be publishing it all over the place. SCV Chat will. So I hope you guys will please join us or either just share ours.
Yeah, especially that last one. Share ours.
Yeah, do that, please. Helps. Doesn't help if we're just preaching to the choir. Y'all already know all the real history and facts. Got to reach the people that don't.
I was doing a little bit of reading during the commercial break, and it was said that not only did Smokey and the Bandit was about bootlegging Coors beer, but we had 2 U.S. presidents that would bootleg their own beer when they were president. It said Dwight D. Eisenhower used Air Force One to get his Coors beer from west of the Mississippi back to D.C., and Gerald Ford would sneak it home in his suitcase when he came to Washington. So thought that was pretty cool.
Junior played Tarzan in the late 60s and early 70s. That has just blown my mind.
He also played was it a John Wayne movie, Rio Bravo or Rio Lobo? It was Rio Lobo. He played the bad sheriff in Rio Lobo.
I believe he also was a football star.
Oh yeah, huge dude. One of the truckers, when it goes through they're in the rocking chair, and you're seeing all the truckers go by, and
I so want to try that, by the way.
They show all the different truckers as they're going by their windows. One of them was an extra that played in one of my favorite John Wayne movies. He was Curly in McClintock, bald-headed guy, big, tall, lanky fella. And he was one of the extras that played a trucker in that movie. So,
what I was surprised is how many actual cops they used in the movie. So, like when you see the Mississippi Highway Patrol when they're going through Mississippi, it's actually actual troopers from Mississippi Highway Patrol, and they even mentioned Moose's alma mater, well, soon to be alma mater if he will ever graduate, up there.
We're heading into Ole Miss.
I'll meet you at Ole Miss. Look, Daddy, it's a football game. Can we watch?
Can we watch?
And by that point, the top of the car had been, sheared off, and Jackie Gleason throws it in reverse, and Junior almost falls off.
So you said, "Yeah, you stay here."
Yeah.
Who's gonna hold your hat, Dad?
Yeah.
Nabbit, that's gonna be stuck in my head now. Oh gosh.
Daddy, I'm looking at the actual quote now. Daddy, wait, who's gonna hold your hat?
As he's driving off, there goes a wheel, part of the front end.
Put the evidence in the car.
But Daddy.
Mm-hmm.
Oh gosh.
Oh, that's it really is a great movie.
Oh, it's fantastic. Oh gosh.
You sounded so much taller on the radio.
Yeah.
I got the Bandit right here. So that's my captain.
So the Germans got nothing to do with it.
Yeah. The fact that you were a sheriff is not germane to the situation. The damn Germans ain't got nothing to do with it. What'd he say? 1 turn at a time. Of course, we're cleaning it up.
Well, we got to. I don't want to be fighting Facebook and YouTube all evening, please.
Daddy, the top came off.
Oh gosh, man!
It's one of my favorite scenes where the little officer comes up and kicks the horns blaring. This little officer comes up and tells him he can't drive a piece of crap like that on my highway. And he says, "I have my young son in the vehicle. Quit using that language."
and he just, completely is just, bull crapping the guy, He's some sheriff from Texarkana, and probably nobody's ever heard. Do you know who I am? I've been in hot pursuit.
Oh, my favorite thing is, the F-bomb he dropped, in the real movie, that was supposed to be in it. But they figured out later back then, if you drop the F-bomb, it's an automatic rated R movie. And Universal...
NC-17.
Oh, yeah. And so Universal contacted them and said, you're going to have to bleep this out. And apparently the director fought it for a while until Universal kind of finally won. And so that's why that's why you could actually see him mouth it, because in the original movie, it wasn't him just going to, he actually said it. And they had to cut it out. Oh, gosh, that movie's a classic. I'm going to have to go home and watch it again today. I watched it this morning. I woke up specifically early to watch it for this episode. Now I'm going to have to watch it when I go back home.
So part of my job today, this evening, I was helping put out place. I wasn't placing them. I was telling the guys where to place the portalettes for this upcoming event. And one of the reasons why Snowman can't go with Bandit originally is he says he's got to go pick up a load of manure in the morning, and Bandit says crappy job, but he doesn't really say that. That pun I have been making for the past 3 hours outside today. Somebody would call me, what are you doing? Oh, I'm telling them where to put Porta Johns. Oh, yeah, it's a crappy job.
My friends, for those who don't know this, of course, I live on my family's farm with my dad for the majority of my life, and, we'll clean out dog kennels. We train British Labrador Retrievers. Anytime I tell my friends that, hey, when we were in high school, like, hey, let's go out and watch movies, like, I'm having to clean out the kennels today, they would respond with that line every time, because that's how much we watched Smokey and the Bandit in high school. And they still to this day, hey, you in town? Yeah, but I'm cleaning out the kennels. Crappy job.
Adam, I know that we'd gotten a message a couple of weeks ago from a gentleman who's getting he's a ham radio operator, and he's trying to get as many SCV members as possible on his ham channel to talk and stuff like that, which if you're interested in, private message the show. We'd be happy to tack you along with that guy. But I think we should, just for national reunion, everybody bring a CB radio in their vehicle, and just sit there and talk to each other over the CBs.
The ride down would be fun.
Oh, it would be amazing.
It would.
Me and GCB would probably get in trouble.
I remember even when I was in high school, that was the cool thing to do, to have a CB.
And the really long...
There wasn't a whole lot of people on CB radio back then either. So.
Yeah, well, that's what a lot of my friends did, and they had the 14-foot whips with, seeing how many tennis balls they could put on the whip, because when they stopped, it would swing forward and hit the roof of the truck and everything.
Me and my friends, as close as my freshman year of college, talked about getting CB radios for when we were just bored driving around Oxford. We wanted to do that. Lord knows how many times I used a CB.
Ed, what's your handle, Ed?
Yeah, Ed. We want to know what your handle was.
Will our public affairs officer get in trouble for doing that?
As long as it wasn't Hot Pants Phillips, he's all right.
I have a feeling it was Hot Pants Phillips. Or Fuzzy Britches.
Fuzzy Britches.
Well, Ed, earlier you had asked for a SCV chat nickname.
That's it. Whatever it is.
I think it's now Fuzzy Britches. Reminds me of another great movie, Shawshank Redemption. Even though that doesn't take place in the South, takes place in Maine. when Andy breaks out and the warden's just looking, trying to figure it out, and let's ask her. What you say there, Fuzzy Britches? It was like Raquel Welch. That's it now, Ed.
Oh, man. Sorry about that, Ed.
No, Fuzzy Britches, it's what it is.
Oh. Be nice, poor Edward, man. Alan said his was peg leg.
Who was Peg? Somebody say they were a peg leg?
Yeah, Alan Lawrence was peg leg in high school.
Okay.
I still want to get a CB radio in my truck. I was going to get it for my Challenger because, sometimes I make stupid road trips and like
Moose Mobile?
Yeah, the I call it the Gray Ghost, the truck.
Yeah, the Moose Mobile.
The Moose Mobile needs to get a CB radio for the pure enjoyment of it. Oh gosh, this conversation, like everything we've done, just goes off the rails.
Oh yeah.
Well, that's the fun in it.
Yeah, it was supposed to be a light, fun night talking about
Smokey and the Bandit. All of a sudden, out of nowhere. So we should get CB radios, man. You know how fun it'd be for National Reunion?
Fine. Well,
gosh. Great goat.
Now, Carl, was this the one that was the Mongolian throat singer or the other great aunt?
Oh my gosh. Jason's in the chat. Jason's in the chat. Where's the picture at? Boom! I've been waiting all night to do that.
I love how Carl's hat actually fits and Jason's is just there.
I could actually find a picture of Carl wearing a cowboy hat. That's how I made that happen. Jason gets mad at me for the picture, and all I'm going to say is, dude, send me a picture of you in a cowboy hat.
Oh, my.
See, Jason's, the Army of Tennessee already gave him his nickname. Oh, heck, he's watching. Oh, he needs to catch up. But Army of Tennessee gave him his nickname T-Rex. Actually, Tom Strain gave him the nickname T-Rex. We got Candyman, obviously.
I was about to say we got Candyman, we got Adams, we got mine, we got yours. Who doesn't have a nickname on the show? A regular guest.
Carl's got his.
Yeah, Carl's got his.
What do we call Commander McClooney?
Well, he was CIC for the majority of the show, so we couldn't call him anything. So now we can.
Educator.
What? Wait, what?
The educator.
The educator.
I never knew that about him.
I didn't know he was an educator either. It throws me off.
We got Daddy Moose, regular Moose. If he ever gets married, Mrs. Moose.
God bless this poor woman.
Have children, Little Moose.
They will never be on this show if I have a children and a wife. I feel too bad for them.
We got Fuzzy Britches. Paul Gramblin's the legend.
The legend, or I like to call him on the Thursday show, the Ric Flair, the SCV, because he's always styling and profiling.
Chuck McMichael's the Lone Ranger.
Yeah. Vinny, your cousin Vinny.
Yeah, Vinny's Vinny.
Do you have nicknames for the Candy Twins?
Actually, Vinny, Clune Dog is what I used to call him years ago.
Who?
Larry's unofficial nickname back in the day was Clune Dog.
Let's see here. I think I have this video still saved.
Twin 1, Twin 2.
Twin 1.
Oh, wait. Dr. Seuss thing 1 and thing 2.
Yeah, twin 1, twin 2.
Yeah.
Scott Hall needs a good.
Scott does need a good one. Why he doesn't have one, we need to know.
Simba. Forrest actually has another one amongst the some of the women in the Mississippi division.
He has like 5
legs.
I'm telling you, just call me. Dr. Mitchum says Phil Robertson calls him the professor.
Well, that is
a humble brag there, Dr. Mitchum.
You want to recount, Carl? You're the illustrious potentate. Yeah, it sounds like we're starting a gang.
That's what SCV chat is. Golly, I'm gonna get us in trouble. Oh, Facebook, leave me alone tonight, please. YouTube.
What's going on?
Let's see here. Call me Dr. Pope. Sounds like you're like going to be on Dr. Phil next week, David.
Hey, Carl, just as long as you ain't the Grand Sorghum.
Oh gosh. It sounds like we're a Pokemon team. Oh crap!
All right, guys. Well, we've been at it for a little over an hour now. We hope y'all have enjoyed us. Just sitting back and relaxing and having a good time, couple of good laughs. We really hope that y'all enjoyed that. Next week is our second Monday show. Moose will be holding that one all by himself.
Wait, what's next Monday's show? We might have someone planned already, so I'm just double checking. Actually, we'll have Richard Garcia come on next week.
Right.
Hey, so make sure you watch that. Make sure to share this episode and join us this Thursday for a new episode of Commander's Comments with the Chief of Heritage Operations.
Ron.
Yeah, I was going to say not Walter D. Donnie Kennedy. I've said that for so much. I'm used to it. But Ron Kennedy and Commander-in-Chief Jason T-Rex Boshears. Also, if y'all can find the hidden T-Rex on the graphic for that,
no one's ever brought it up. So
yeah, we're just seeing if anybody can find that. Remember to share. We'll have a replay at some point this week, probably Wednesday. The following Monday is our 100th episode. Where Carl Jones will be talking to Ben Cooter Jones, who was in Smokey and the Bandit. We learned that tonight.
Do you want to play the awesome trailer I made?
Go ahead and play the awesome trailer.
I don't think you ever saw it either.
I did see it.
Oh, that sounds like you're disappointed. Oh, well.
The 100th episode, a milestone in the television world, a tradition dating back to the 1950s. When a television show reaches their 100th episode, that's when they can sell their rights to their show to broadcasters for reruns. That's when a television show can really start making money. While here at SCV Chat, we aren't a traditional television show and we aren't in it to make money, we do care about tradition. So join us on October 17th at 7 p.m. Confederate Standard Time and tune in for the 100th episode of SCV Chat. We will have our guest host, Cooter Jones, for the evening. We will also have one of the biggest guests in SCV Chat history. He's an actor, a celebrity, a former politician, one of the most famous defenders of Confederate heritage, past Chief of Heritage Defense of the Sons of Confederate Veterans, Ben Jones, also known as Crazy Cooter of the Dukes of Hazzard. Make sure to clear your schedule. Make sure you are there for the biggest and most historic episode of SCV Chat. SCV Chat 100 will be live October 17th on Facebook and YouTube at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time.
Cut off a bit. We're live still.
Yeah, I know. So anyway, make sure to share this episode. Join us Thursday for Commander's Comments, live at 7 p.m. Confederate Standard Time. Hope everybody had a great evening. Remember, if you are so inclined, please donate to the relief fund. Continue to pray for our compatriots down in Florida and in the Carolinas, and those that are affected by Hurricane, I believe it was Ian. And we've got another one, ginning up in the tropics. No telling where that's going. So let's just continue on. Guys, it has been an absolute pleasure. Remember to visit our other sponsors at the other sponsors with Southern Flags and Quilts, Larry McClooney's books. Also, for our members, go check out the new items that are in the gift shop. Matt has been busting his butt trying to get some new stuff in there. So let's go check it out. I know I want the new decanter set that was debuted at National Reunion. Hint, hint, any of those looking to get me a gift for Christmas or birthday or going out of office. So
New leather wallets too. They're nice.
ooh, I have two
Wallets
wallets.
are amazing. I'm going to buy me a couple.
Yeah. Yep. Come see us at the museum and
Why do you
look
need more
forward
than
to
one
seeing you.
wallet?
I like to have backups. I don't like change. So, I'll buy, the same product to last me multiple years.
There you go.
I have 3 pair of boots that look the same, so I can have some until I'm in my 30s. I have not changed my style of boots since middle school. I buy the same brand, and I've done that since middle school. And the same style, same look, same everything.
All right, fellas, it's time for me to get an El Diablo sandwich and Dr. Pepper. I'll holler at y'all later.
Enjoy.
Yeah, from
Oh, see
all of
y'all
us here at SCV Chat, we'll see y'all Thursday. Good night, everybody. Good night, Fuzzy Britches. Hope y'all enjoyed the show.